So you ask yourself, why are we in high quality? Why are we in high def right now? Or as high def as it can be with an iPhone 5? Well, this isn't your regular wrestling recap. This is a live event perspective. And longtime pop viewers of my wrestling recaps will probably call me out right away and say, oh, and you didn't do this when you went to Raw and SmackDown. Well, when I went to Raw and SmackDown, I gave you guys videos from, in the car on the way back, in complete and total pitch black darkness, and they weren't the greatest. This is not only a live event perspective, this is a regular NXT recap. And before you ask, no, I didn't care enough about SmackDown this week to include it. So this is just a straight up NXT video. And hopefully these videos will start getting more hits because that would mean that NXT now has awareness. Brand awareness equals more people watching the product every week equals more recaps actually getting hits, i.e. mine. So that's why I want to do this one in HD. Or as HD as it can be. And I'm also not drinking soda this time around. I actually have a glass of water. You know, it's strange, isn't it? Because we got a lot to talk about. So not only if you're a regular viewer are you going to get your normal blow-by-blow midway through the match, and my commentary from what happens next, pun not intended, you're actually going to get a perspective of being there live. And at the end, I'm going to show you what I purchased at the event. And that's how we're going to end. So the regular NXT and SmackDown video probably will return next week, but this one's a special one, so that's the reason I wanted to do it like this. Wrestling recaps probably go back to the iPod. The wrestling recaps, period, are usually on the iPod, and usually the only thing that gets the videos... Excuse me. That was awkward, I'm aware. I'm sorry. Usually it's my nose. For some reason it was my chest this time. Weird. Basically what you're getting here is you're getting a video like a sip and snack, or like a vlog of randomness, which brings me to the fact that today's vlog of randomness was not the greatest, I'll admit that. The quality did not really excel like it should have. Filmed it with the tablet. Filming with the tablet works some of the time, but not always. When stuff is involving a huge, bright spotlight, yeah, it's kind of hard to take those videos. But no worries, things will be okay, and that's the reason why you're getting an HD video of the NXT recap of Takeover Our Evolution. Let's talk about it, shall we? So, we're going to talk about the show, I'm going to talk about the live event perspective, and then I'm going to show you what I got. So, let's start off with, before we start talking about the actual show itself, let's talk about the background to how I got to go to this. So, alright. As many of you know, and as many of you don't know, I was planning on leaving Orlando on December 11th, which is the date of NXT Takeover Our Evolution. Well, I found out that Takeover was going to be on the 11th. So I actually moved my trip without tickets, without any sort of plan. I just had an idea in my mind. I'm going to Full Sail. I'm going to go see NXT. Because it's the last thing I need to see live. Now granted, I don't know how I'm going to ever see ROH live. But if it happens, it happens. But of the big programs, I've been to WWF Live. I was at SummerSlam 1995 in Pittsburgh. I've been to WWE Live. And I've done Raw and SmackDown. I have been to the original ECW. I was at Heatwave 99 in Dayton, Ohio. It was actually my present to myself for graduating high school. And I'm front row all night, so if you're curious who I am, I'm wearing a white Rob Van Dam t-shirt, and my uncle is ginormous. He's a big built guy, and he's got a shirt that says South 316, so it's very easy to spot me. I'm really close to the ring post. I have been in attendance of many WCW programs, thus also being Nitros, as well as I was in attendance in Charleston, West Virginia, for Sold Out in 1999. So yeah, I actually did 2 pay-per-views in 1999. Interesting. And I've been a part of the WWECW, you know, the WWE version of ECW, which was a special program, 2-hour live event that aired on the WWE Network. Back when it wasn't the WWE Network, it aired on USA. and it was to promote the One Night Stand pay-per-view. That, I believe it had a main event of John Cena and Sabu. I'm pretty sure that's what it was. So yeah, and it was Edge against Tommy Dreamer, when Dreamer backdropped Edge off the top rope and he barely missed the table. So yeah, that was an interesting night. Obviously, you guys know I've been to TNA a time or two. I've been Impact tapings in different sound stages at Universal Orlando, and I was in attendance for one of the last Impact tapings at Universal Orlando, and that actually was with Joe, which weirdly enough, that's very strange that that's how it worked out. But I needed to see NXT. I knew I needed to see NXT, and they don't travel out of Florida, at least now. They're going to. I know Triple H said they're going to start traveling out of Florida, and they're going to actually start touring. But brand awareness will create a reason for that. Well, I found out that Full Sail is within distance of Universal, but it was going to cost me. It was going to cost me big. So I started looking into it, finding a way to get over there. Asked a bunch of friends. Unfortunately, that was a dead end. It was either the opposite way, or my friends were busy, or there was just no way to get over there. So I was hoping that somehow, some way, things would work out and I'd get to go to the event. Well, what ended up happening was I found a service, which shall remain nameless for good reason, and I'll explain why as we get through this video. I went through this service and I was quoted a price of $80 for a vehicle to pick me up, take me to Full Sail, and after the event is over, pick me back up, take me back to Cabana Bay. So I was like, cool, that's fine. Because apparently if I went with a taxi, it was going to cost about $150. Now granted, I might be embellishing a little bit, but probably not very much, because it's kind of a far ride from Orlando to Winter Park, especially if you're in a cab. So I was ready to go. I didn't have a ticket. So I went to NXT's Ticket Force website, and I went to buy a ticket, and I finally had a ticket in my grasp. No gold circle, unfortunately. I wasn't going to be ringside. It was going to be a general admission ticket. So I had it I literally, by saying I had it in my grasp, I mean that I had the ticket ready to purchase it. And all I had to do was check out. Well, I got ready to check out, and what ended up happening was, before I could check out, unbeknownst to me, I had to sign up. Now, I probably should have thought about that before I did this, but still. And instead of signing up, I took some time, and when I finally actually bought the ticket, I was given a prompt to create an account. I was like, argh. So I created an account, blah, 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 blah. And the next thing you know, I click send, look at the screen, sold out. Did I get the last ticket? I never got a confirmation, so I'm guessing I didn't. So I was out of luck. How was I going to get to Full Sail? I had moved heaven and earth. I've added an extra day at Cabana Bay. I changed my flight. I moved everything around just so I can go to Full Sail for NXT Takeover. I didn't have a ticket. So I tweet Full Sail's Twitter account, and I give a huge shout out to Full Sail's Twitter account. And we talked a little bit, and I told him I was in need of a ticket. Well, I found out that they were going to be doing giveaways for tickets, general admission tickets only, but still tickets nonetheless, to attend the event the week of the event. Like a few days before the event, they would tweet out that they're having a contest, and if you won the contest, you would get seats to go to attend the sold-out NXT Takeover. So I was excited. I was like, ooh, this actually might happen. So I started telling you guys on the videos that I may or may not be in attendance, but most likely I would be. So I was thinking there's got to be a way. There's got to be a way. It's just one ticket. All I need is one ticket and I can get over there. I'll worry about the rest later. Yeah. So week came, and I do see the tweet. I retweeted it. And later that day, I got a DM in my box because I just got started being followed by Full Sail. Now, I'm learning quickly that if you get followed by somebody out of the blue, Like, Universal Orlando followed me out of the blue. Or Halloween Horror Nights Orlando out of the blue followed me. If you get followed up by out of the blue by a big time account like that, chances are you may have won something. I wouldn't think they would necessarily start following you just because. There's got to be a reason, right? Well, the reason was they DM'd me and told me that they had one ticket left. You want it? Yeah, I want it. Absolutely. Okay, be there at 4 o'clock at the box office. Pick it up. It's yours. Sweet. I'm excited. Gonna be going to Full Sail for NXT Takeover Our Evolution. So, got everything taken care of. I called the car company, and like I was supposed to, a guy called me back and gave me the deets about what was going on. I gave him the information, when to pick me up and everything. He arrived that day, picked me up, and immediately I started to get something in my mind that I can't say things were not necessarily on the up and up, but it wasn't what I was promised. For starters, when I got in the vehicle, I was told that because of toll roads, it was going to be more, which I was never told that. I was told a flat rate of $80. Okay. So, it was it's going to be $4 more. And I was like, alright, I guess. I'm going to pay $85 to go over there instead. So, then, the ride over was, uneventful. Just a very, it wasn't a pleasant experience, we'll put it that way. And when I finally got to Full Sail, it was known then that I was going to be picked up, obviously, that night. Well, I told him, I was he's like, when are you going to pick me up? I was like, just call me when it's over. I was like, it's not going to be over until, at least 10:30. So I'll just probably call you about, 10:30, and you can pick me up at 11. He's like, whoa, I only thought that I was going to be, picking you up in, 2 hours. Why do you need to be picked up so late? And I was like, well, I'm going to a wrestling event. I'm going to NXT. And he's like, oh, I thought you were just going to college. And this whole time, you probably thought I just wanted to check out the campus. No, I want to go see NXT. So, because of that fact, there was kind of some miscommunication. Got out of the vehicle. I only paid half of my fare. But when I checked my credit card, I had found out that I had paid more than I said I was going to pay. He actually charged me $45. So, I don't know if there was a $5 handling fee or he took his own tip. I don't know. So, yeah, I got charged $45. Alright, got dropped off. Got dropped off early. This is 3-something. I get there, no one's there. Everybody's wearing, Full Sail University ID badges. The WWE merchandise truck is there, so immediately I see things I want to buy. Obviously, I can't yet. People start arriving, and then obviously people know each other from going to the events from time to time. It's like being around the Impact crowd, back in the day when I used to go to the Impact shows at Universal. Everyone seemed to know everyone else. So I just kind of chatted with a few people here and there, and eventually ended up getting dark, starting to get cooler outside, and people started to arrive. So after that, we got the NXT Takeover pre-show. And we actually got to hear it live. So we were outside the window at Full Sail when Alex Riley, Renee Young, and Jason Albert were doing the pre-show. And we were referenced a few times. And obviously, it was made known that there was going to be a special announcement made from Corey Graves. That he may or may not have to retire. Because obviously he's got some concussion issues lately, so maybe he might have to retire. Because obviously WWE takes concussions very, very seriously. They take concessions very seriously too, especially when we're talking about merchandise. But not so much food and drink, because there was none in Full Sail. Not surprised, really, to be honest. Now, to their credit, there were food trucks outside, but I wasn't going to leave my spot in line, because I'm not dumb. So, and I also had no friends to watch my spot in line, so I was going to have it regardless. So, we're sitting out there in the cold. The camera goes on us eventually. At one point, the Lucha Dragons came out and they cut a promo, but it was basically done to test out how it was going to look. And saw a lot of people walk by. I saw Adam Pearce walk by. Apparently, he's getting a tryout for a kind of a road agent job, and to work with NXT. That was kind of cool. I saw Charles Robinson plenty of times. He was walking around. The Road Dogg walked out a couple of times, and every single time that somebody would come out, you'd hear people scream, and then people would run over to where they were. I just stood in line. I was watching the whole time. So, finally get to everything. Finally get in the building. And immediately I walk in, go to the bathroom, because I've been out there for about 5 hours. And sure enough, I go straight in and try to find my seats. Well, I'm on hard cam side at the top of the bleachers. If you never were able to go to TNA when it was at Universal, you wouldn't completely understand what I'm about to say. But the setup was very similar. Because you had the ringside setup, you had the bleachers that were on the hard cam, and behind the hard cam you basically had like a couple of people, but that's about it. And the ramp was opposite side, because Impact it was to the right, and to NXT was to the left. Big Tron, everything, so it was normal. So, let's talk about the show, shall we? First off, it has made an official announcement during the pre-show, we barely could hear it, that Corey Graves, because of his issues with concussions, is being forced to retire. But, instead of just hanging up the boots and walking away, WWE is giving him a chance to join the commentary team, which for those of you that have followed the East Coast Independents, know that Corey Graves actually is a pretty decent commentator, to be honest. So yeah, that's really interesting. And I actually worked a show with Corey Graves a long time ago, actually, so there's always that. And also during the pre-show, Becky Lynch attacked Bayley from behind and like tweaked her knee. She had like a torn meniscus, and apparently she'll be fine for Takeover for NXT this week, so there you go. Bayley was trying to talk to Sasha, Becky nails her from behind, and that's the end of that. So, we get a great video package, and we start off the show. Immediately, first match on the show, the NXT debut of Kevin Owens. The former Kevin Steen comes out and gets a huge reaction. Crowd's really into him in every way possible. I find it very ironic that Drake Younger is the referee for this match, given the fact that they've had some battles of their own in PWG. Who's the opponent for Kevin Owens? Just like I predicted on the last video, CJ Parker. And he's still coming out to his Hazy Shade of Winter ripoff, which sounds to me like what would happen if Franz Ferdinand did Hazy Shade of Winter, and it's actually starting to grow on me. So the bell sounds, and immediately CJP gets nailed with 2 vicious clotheslines in the corner, and Owens hits the cannonball and destroys the sign to a huge reaction from the crowd. He nails him with a tope con hilo, and that's the end of that. Crowd's going crazy at this point. They're going ape nuts at this point. So Parker gets thrown back into the ring. Owens tries to take advantage. He gets nailed with the jumping calf kick, which is something that Parker actually uses as a setup most of the time. So a right hand, and he kicks away, and he stomps away, and Owens with a chop to the chest, and CJ Parker cuts him off with a headbutt. He's on his hands and knees, and Parker goes for the leaping senton backsplash. Owens out of the way, charges in, and CJ puts the boot up to try to kick Owens in the face. Owens catches the boot and swipes it down, and then in a very vicious move that you could hear throughout the entire building, CJ Parker nails the third eye, which is that vicious palm strike, normally to like the forehead. He caught him in the bridge of the nose. So much so that he actually split his hand down to the bone and legitimately broke Owens' nose. So right away, in his debut with WWE and NXT, what happens? He's bleeding all over the place. That's a no-no in PG era. So, obviously the referee, who is Drake Younger, in, like I said, irony, is trying to stop the bleeding. CJP charges him with shotgun knees. Owens no-sells him and decapitates him with a lariat. He hits the pump handle, dropping over the knee, which is the old steam breaker. Pump handle basically just drops him neck first over his kneecap. Tosses him to the ropes, pop-up, powerbomb, 1, 2, 3. Great debut for Kevin Owens. Tremendously over with the crowd, and the crowd all night, before the show even started, I can vouch for this, they were chanting Owens' name, or they were chanting for Steen, and kill Steen, kill Owens, kill, fight Owens, fight, kill, fight Owens, Steen, kill. Everybody's just like mixing it up. But yeah, basically, they're chanting for Kevin Owens. Which now makes sense why Chris Hero got released, because he was KO too. Interesting. So, I'm sure there's nothing coincidental about that. Not at all. So yeah, really fun debut, and like I said before, very impactful when CJ Parker broke his nose. He basically made him pay for it, and got a great reaction after the match was over. I'm really interested to see where we go from here. Now, we find out even quickly tonight what we're going to do from here, but we'll talk about that in a minute. Next match is for the NXT Tag Team Championships. Your current reigning and defending NXT Tag Team Champions Kalisto and Sin Cara, the Lucha Dragons, defending against my favorite tag team in NXT, Simon Gotch and Aiden English of the Vaudevillains. And like I said, I love the very dark carnival-esque introduction by Ryan Katz, the former GQ Money. And I always enjoy that with the bullhorn. Like I said, I like the original Vaudevillains theme. This one sounds a little bit more old-timey, fits more with the gimmick. I think it's over pretty well. Before I even started talking about the match, Sin Cara hits a Michinoku driver, and Rich Brennan calls it a powerbomb. Okay. I'll give the NXT commentators a huge pat on the back. They actually have to call the moves in these matches. Now, granted, you still have to tell the story, but they actually have to call the moves. And some commentators don't know the moves. The NXT commentators definitely know the moves, and that's the reason why Tom Phillips is on WWE programming now, because he knows the moves. So let's talk about the match, shall we? Alright. So, the Vaudevillains had a tandem at the same time, back chop and front chop on Sin Cara. 1-2 and a kick out. So Aiden English whips him in, and he charges in. Sin Cara gets the back elbow up. Aiden cuts off the tag with a roll-up, which sends Sin Cara to the floor. And ricochets back into the barricade. So Aiden kicks him right in the face, like baseball slide style, but doesn't really like run with it. He just basically just straight up kicks him right in the face. So he sweeps Kalisto's leg, which knocks him back first onto the ring apron, which I know is the hardest part in a wrestling ring, not just because I was told so. It's because if you accidentally trip and fall on the ring apron, it's not fun, trust me. I don't like doing that. As a matter of fact, I did something on the ring apron when I was a manager a long time ago, and yeah, I hit that thing pretty hard and has no give. I mean, that's no joke. It has no give. So he tosses Sin Cara back in the ring, and he clubs Cara in the back, and he boots him away in the corner, tags in Simon Gotch. So Gotch comes in with a forearm, and Sin Cara goes for a jackknife cover, but without the cover. He basically just does a front flip roll and tries to make a tag. Gotch cuts the tag off, and back chop, backdrop suplex connects one, and that's it. No 2 count, just a 1 count only. Tags Aiden English in the ring, knee to the face, and he gets a 1 count off of that. Locks in a chin lock, and then he decides to break it. Short whip in, and he gets the boot up in the corner, so he puts him on the buckle. Sin Cara fights off Simon Gotch on the ring apron, and Aiden with a short charge, he gets kicked straight in the face, and handspring over the back and tag in Kalisto. Kalisto comes in, springboard flying body press to Aiden English, and he runs over and high kicks Simon Gotch. So he ducks Aiden English's clothesline and the springboard into the corkscrew press. Handspring kick does connect. Sin Cara goes up top and flying body press to Simon Gotch himself. So at this point, drop kick to Aiden English. Short drop kick, very close quarters there. And Kalisto with the roll up into the kick. Backdrop, Aiden English over the top rope to the floor onto his partner. And they go for the tandem Tope Suicida. Do the tag team champions, and in a very chivalrous move, Aiden English pushes his partner Simon Gotch out of the way, and he eats both of those. Again, I know exactly how that feels because I've had a man backdropped onto me before, and the other people I was teaming with at the time, they ran opposite ways, so I could take the whole bump. So I totally understand. But it was cool, and it looked good on camera. Anyway, so Simon Gotch tosses Kalisto in, and he tries to pick him up. He gets countered. Salida del Sol, and that's the end of that. So, 1, 2, 3, and the Lucha Dragons retain the Tag Team Championships. This match was good. I think that it will continue. I do know for a fact it does continue. The NXT tapings the next day that unfortunately I was not able to attend basically tell me that this is going to continue, and I have no problems if that does continue. Just as long as the end game at one point is to at least, even if it's a short run, give the Vaudevillains the Tag Team Championships. And then, who knows, maybe they can work with Finn Balor and Hideo Itami before they do their singles runs in NXT. So, up next we got another squash match. Before the show started, we had a dark match, actually. It was Steve Cutler. He came out, and he got squashed by Bull Dempsey. So, Bull came out, beat him with the diving headbutt, and that was the end of that. Well, here comes Baron Corbin. And Baron Corbin's actually over with the crowd in Full Sail. I can vouch for this. And Baron Corbin, of course, has got the count-along gimmick. So the matches are going so short that the fans are counting along. Well, Baron Corbin hits an Undertaker spot. He hits the snake eyes into the big boot. And that's interesting. We see Bull Dempsey in the crowd watching on, and this allows for Baron Corbin to hit the end of days on a Ty Dillinger, and he gets the 3 count. So after the match is over, there's the stare down between Bull and Corbin, and that's the end of that. Building to a match. I know for a fact, because it's already happened. I just can't talk about it yet, because it's not 2015. Obviously, 2 big bulls going at it, and 2 big monsters are ready to finally step in the ring together, and should be fun, at least for once. So we get Sami Zayn in the back, and he's preparing for his match. Obviously, one of the biggest matches of his entire career with Adrian Neville in the main event tonight. And Big Cass and Enzo Amore go to congratulate him, go to, make sure he's doing fine, make sure he's ready. And you see Kevin Owens in the background, and he's kind of watching over as well in the locker room. So that got a nice reaction from the crowd. Speaking of things that got a nice reaction from the crowd, next match is tag team action. It is Connor and Victor of the Ascension taking on the team of Hideo Itami and Finn Balor. So, this match was fun live. Really fun live. The Ascension come out, and immediately WWE logic makes us think that we want to forget the names Rick Victor and Connor O'Brien because they don't exist anymore. They're one name. It's like Cher. It's like Victor and Connor. It's like Connor O'Brien. It's like, no, doesn't work. Didn't work before, it doesn't work now. So, Hideo Itami comes out in a yellow and black karate gi, which looked really cool, very Mortal Kombat-esque. Got a little bit of Tarzan Goto going on there, honestly. And then it happened. So, the lights started to flash. To the beat of the music, it's like bum, 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 bum. Like a heartbeat. Bum, 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 bum. Flashing red. I got Taz flashbacks, really. And then all of a sudden, you see Finn Balor come out like a demon from hell, crawling through the smoke, through the fog. And it's building, and it's building, and he's got the body paint. Everyone was wondering if Finn Balor was going to wear the paint when he got to the main roster. He is. He's wearing the paint. It looks, unbelievable. He's got, predator hair, like a predator hair wig. And it's kind of like a Carnage symbiote, basically, but it's completely original, if that makes any sense. It's kind of like a Marvel Comics creation. It looks very much like Carnage, got a little bit of the Predator thrown in there. It's red and black, it's got like monster teeth. It's very imposing, to say the least. So, he comes out, as the music's building, we get brand new Tron for Finn Balor. He emerges through the fog, and he starts crawling down the ramp. I'm getting Boogeyman flashbacks, actually, at this, too. But it's so much more awesome than this. He climbs up the stairs. He actually doesn't even climb up. He doesn't walk up the stairs. He slinks up the stairs. He poses on the turnbuckle. He jumps in the ring. We get a nice camera shot of the Ascension looking like, I don't know what the hell's going on. I don't want to mess with this guy. Forget all the things we did. It's cool. We're fine now. We don't have to fight. No, it's cool. It's all right. You can't do. No, it's not going to happen. But no, obviously we're going to get a match. And the tag team match. Fans are chanting, marking out. They're chanting, this is awesome. They're chanting, holy shite. So yeah, that's a way to cover that. It was crazy. A very loud reaction, to say the least. And apparently, Finn Balor's, new NXT theme is already doing very well on iTunes. So, kudos to him. So when the match finally does start, right away, Hideo and Balor hit the crisscross hesitation dropkick on the Ascension. Sends him to the floor. So we'll go 5 minutes past that. And right away, since obviously we're comparing the Ascension in WWE when they're debuting their new vignettes, which they come off looking a lot more like the Road Warriors, and acting like the Road Warriors, really, a leaping fist drop makes perfect sense. Victor gets a 2 count off of that. So he basically does a step over modified chin lock. And Victor gets it broken by an Atami kick. So, not to be confused with an Otani kick, which we'll talk about that eventually. So he tags Connor in, charging Avalanche in the corner, 1-2, and a kick out. Tags Victor back in, stomp away, and fans close to me start to get a We Want Kenta chant started. They get booed, and immediately they start chanting, Hideo, Hideo. I gotta hand it to the former Kenta. When it comes down to it, the Hideo chant is a lot easier to do. I mean, Kenta, makes it Hideo. I mean, it makes more sense, if you can, separate the syllables. It seems like it's a better chant, so. But maybe that's just me. Gets 2 off of that. Victor goes back to the step over chin lock, and Itami elbows out. He flips him forward, and he dives up to tag in Finn Balor, and he gets caught and sent hard into the buckle. 6 shoulder blocks, and he goes for the charge. He misses. Victor goes shoulder first into the ring post. This is the chance. Itami needs to make the tag. Connor realizes this, and he comes in, and he gets sidestepped, and he's sent to the floor. So he dives in, he makes the tag. He's about ready to tag, and then Connor just sweeps the leg and trips Balor on the ring apron so Itami can't tag out. Makes perfect sense. Fans completely deflated on this. Great spot. I really enjoyed this. So the Ascension drag him back to the corner, tags Connor in, and he tosses him off to the ropes, ducks his head, gets kicked straight in the chest. Victor gets knocked off the apron by Itami, and finally, hot tag, Finn Balor's finally in. Forearm to Victor, and he springboards off of Victor's back, poetry in motion style, and a nice drop kick to Connor. Like a shotgun drop kick, basically. Nails the corkscrew neck breaker off the ropes, charges into Victor, and Victor gets the back elbow up. Victor goes up top, and Finn with a high kick sends him off the top rope to the floor. Tope con hilo to both members of the Ascension, tosses Victor back in. He goes up top. Connor with a distraction on the ring apron, and this allows a high kick to happen. He goes up top, and Finn's going for the diving foot stomp. Victor rolls out of the way. And of course, he lands on his feet. Catches Victor with the reverse Bloody Sunday. And 1-2, Connor runs in to make the save. So Hideo Itami sacrifices himself to save his partner when he spears Connor through the ropes to the floor. Victor ducks the Dreamcast and nails Finn Balor with the European uppercut, stuns him with the STO, and 1-2, Hideo makes the save. Picks him up on his shoulders, teasing him to go to sleep. The crowd goes insane at this point. It's like, he's going to take his finisher back. Oh my god. So, CM who? So, at this point, Connor realizes this needs to not happen, so he kicks Hideo Itami and cuts it off, which gets boo from the crowd. So Connor tosses Hideo to the floor. They set up for Fall of Man. Hideo pulls Connor to the floor, and Victor goes for a clothesline anyway, because why not? And Balor plants him with a Pele kick right between the eyes. Hideo tosses Connor in, nails Connor with the Busaiku knee, yes, the move that Daniel Bryan uses, that Kenta had first. So Hideo Itami is the Busaiku knee, and they both go up top, and they hit tandem at not the same time. They're like one and then a couple seconds, and the other leaps off the top with tandem diving foot stomps on the Victor. 1, 2, 3, and that's the end of that. So, fun match to watch live. Really was. Haven't seen the last between this feud either, apparently. We are going to have another match between these two teams. No problem, because you have to get that in before the Ascension get brought up to the main roster. And with the vignettes already airing, this is going to happen sooner rather than later. So obviously you have to utilize it while you still can. This match was fun. I enjoyed this, but not necessarily the team that I would necessarily want to see work with Balor and Itami. Maybe like, you know, honestly, I would like to see the Tyson Kidd Cesaro team that they're going to use on SmackDown, bring them to NXT and let them work with Balor and Itami. I think that would be awesome. Or if it's not Cesaro, maybe Tyson Kidd and Tyler Breeze, something like that. Just like a team that can keep up. Not to say the Ascension can't keep up, because they did, but a team that can better keep up, if that makes any sense. I like to see the Vaudevillains against this team. It's nice contrasts and styles, I think work quite well. Kind of like the Ascension match, but not necessarily all like brute force power. This is more like strongman power, which is completely different if you really pay attention. So, I'm going to say one thing and one thing only. Roman Reigns shows up, he gets booed out of the building. Not going to lie. Putting over the fact that he wants to be the first NXT alum to win the WWE Championship. That's fine. Roman has to look strong, right? You knew I was going to say it. Come on. Seriously. Okay, let's get that out of the way. We get our next match. Semi-main event. It is for the NXT Women's Championship. It is Charlotte defending against the boss, Sasha Banks. And this match was really, really, really good. No offense to AJ. No offense to Paige. No offense to Natalya. But seriously, like, these two put on a wrestling clinic that made me not give one damn about, or several damns, about any women's match I had this week on television. Because this match was just awesome in every way possible. So we pick it up midway through the match, and Charlotte with a forearm, and then another forearm, and she catches her with a forearm, which is kind of more like a tackle, basically. Clothesline, chop, drops Sasha Banks, goes for a suplex, gets countered, and Sasha tries to counter back. Charlotte counters back into the neck breaker. So basically AJ Styles' vertical neck breaker, but done with a spin. So there's that. 1, 2, and Sasha kicks out. Charlotte charges in, Sasha sidesteps her, Charlotte goes through the ropes to the floor. Charlotte gets nailed with a tope from Sasha Banks. Great reaction right there, by the way. Tosses her in, 1, 2, and Charlotte kicks out. So they trade blows. 2 knees cuts off the champion. Sasha comes off the ropes, and Charlotte with the rebound into the spear, spun her like a top. Charges in, eats the boot, charges in to a drop toe hold to the middle turnbuckle by the challenger. She goes for the Banks statement, but gets swatted off. Figure 4 is countered into an inside cradle from Sasha Banks, 1, 2, and Charlotte kicks out. Boots Charlotte in the midsection and nails a straight jacket neckbreaker, 1, 2, and a kick out. So makes a cover, 1, 2, and a kick out. Hooks both legs, 1, 2, and a kick out. Well, no matter what she can do, she cannot put the champion away. Sasha is becoming very frustrated at this point. Charlotte nails a modified exploder suplex and stomps away. She goes up top for the moonsault, but she does basically a backflip, lands on her feet, and catches Sasha with a very unique move, which was basically a front flip senton like a standing somersault senton, depending on who's calling your match. Gets a 2 off of that. Because right before 3, Sasha got her foot on the bottom rope. So she had the wherewithal to realize where she was in the ring, and that's a nice veteran maneuver from someone that not necessarily is a veteran, but you learn after being in the ring so many times. Charlotte sets up for the crucifix powerbomb, basically going for an awesome bomb, and going for a running awesome bomb. But Sasha escapes and shoves Charlotte into the corner. She springboards off, going for the head scissors. She flips forward and sends Charlotte into the buckle. The middle buckle. So she puts her on the corner buckle, and she climbs up, going for the superplex. Charlotte blocks, Charlotte blocks. Charlotte hits a super gourd buster, a front superplex, depending on who's calling your match, and comes off the top, nails a top rope natural selection, which is basically the Diamond Dust, and Diamond Dust actually would fit Charlotte, even fits the gimmick. So natural selection off the top, the Diamond Dust, whatever you want to call it, gets the 3 count in a tremendous way to have Charlotte retain the NXT Women's Championship when everybody thought that Charlotte was going to lose and then be brought up to the main roster. Well, apparently, the week I wasn't watching Raw, she got brought up to the main roster and lost to Natty in like 3 minutes. So yeah, they obviously have to re-debut Charlotte when she comes back. Let's talk about the main event. Oh my god. Charlotte and Sasha, by the way, completely split the crowd. Like, everybody was half and half all night long with pretty much all the matches. With the exception of the match I'm about to talk about. Main event, and it is 1 year in the making. Adrian Neville, the man who gravity forgot, the current reigning and defending NXT champion, defending against Sami Zayn. And if Sami Zayn loses, he leaves NXT. So there's a lot on the line. And all night, obviously, they're focusing on video packages and interviews and promos to put over just how important this match truly is for Sami Zayn. That if he loses, this may not be a real stipulation, but he's done. He's gone. He's not coming back. So he has to win the big one. Because time in and time out, for weeks, for months, Adrian Neville has told him, you can't win the big one. When it comes down to it, you can't win the big one. And then it started out when he finally started to get his groove back, basically, and Sami Zayn came in and beat the only person that he's never been able to beat, and that's Tyler Breeze. And then he went after Neville, and he realized that he has got to win this match. So he challenged him one last time, and basically put his career on the line. Let's talk about this match, shall we? I've been to WWE. I've been to WCW. I've been to TNA. I've been to WWF. I've been to the original ECW. I have never heard a crowd reaction like I heard in Full Sail on Thursday, December 11th, without a doubt. This was an incredible night. And knowing TakeOver was going to be where I believed, as a wrestling recapper, Sami Zayn finally was going to win the big one, I had to be there. And as I found out more about the card, I realized I really had to be there, so this was a big night. Crowd wasn't split. Crowd was probably 97-3 when it comes to Sami Zayn versus Adrian Neville. Neville had a few fans, but not very many. Big fight feel in this match. Zayn came out, blew the roof off the place. The Olay chants, the Sammy chants, everything under the sun. It's just all about Sami Zayn and winning the championship. So, normally we go halfway through the match and then I start. I know for a fact this match almost went 25 minutes, and I waited till 10, and then I started from there. So let's talk about this match, shall we? This will be very much needed. So Neville locks on a chin lock. Zayn backs him in the corner. Backs him in the corner again. Finally breaks it up. Charges in. Neville gets the back elbow up, and a middle rope shotgun drop kick, 1-2, and a kick out. So 2 boot scrapes to the side of the head. Sammy with a palm chop stops that dead in its tracks. Neville with Kiwana kicks, which doesn't happen very often. It comes off the ropes, and Sami Zayn turns him inside out with a clothesline. Zayn comes off the ropes with a clothesline, comes off the ropes again, gets popped up, drop kick to the NXT champion. Neville's momentum carries him to the floor. Sammy charges in, Neville comes back in, nails the rebound into the snap Hurricane Rana. Zayn goes to the floor. So Neville runs, Sami slides in this time and backdrops Neville over the top rope to the floor. Nails him with the no-hands tope con hilo, tosses Neville in the ring, goes up top, hits the flying body press, 1-2, and Adrian Neville kicks out. So he goes for a suplex. Neville floats over, lands on his feet, waist lock, block, standing switch reversal. Neville with a standing switch reversal, catches the back elbow from Zayn. Zayn comes off the ropes. Neville catches him with a cartwheel, going on the shoulders, going for the victory roll, gets countered, sit down, Blue Thunder, 1-2, and the champion kicks out. Neville plants him with a jawbreaker. Charges in with a European uppercut, Cesaro style in the corner. Charges in, Zayn follows in, and Neville gets the boot up and right in the face. So he tosses him off to the ropes, and he catches him with a snap German suplex off the ropes. 1-2, Sami Zayn kicks out, realizing he cannot get beat. Not now. He's come way too far. Neville goes for a powerbomb. It gets blocked. Neville goes for a powerbomb again. It gets blocked. Forearm. Neville goes for a pile driver. It gets blocked. And palm chop, wrist lock, double jump, usually into the tornado DDT. But no, these two know each other so well, so Neville stops that dead in its tracks and catches him with a spinning back kick. Sit out powerbomb connects, 1-2, and at 3, the challenger kicks out. 3 vicious forearms. Sami goes head to head, like, hit me, hit me, hit me, and daring Neville to hit him again. So they trade forearms. Neville stops it, spinning back kick, front kick, spinning back kick, comes off the ropes, usually goes for the front drop kick, and he gets caught with Zayn tripping him up. Zayn clotheslines Neville and charges in for the haluva kick, but he puts on the brakes. Neville with the high kick drops him. He goes up top. Red Arrow finds nothing but knees. The challenger gets the knees up and goes right into the Koji clutch. Fans are chanting tap, 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 tap. And I'm with them too, because obviously I got my Insane shirt on and everything. Chanting tap, tap, tap. And of course he's going to try to tap the Koji clutch. He's going to tap, he's going to tap, he's going to tap. He gets to the bottom rope. So he goes for the exploder suplex. Gets countered. Forward roll. 1-2 and a kick out. So when Zayn kicks out, it explodes back. Neville kicks out and he explodes back and he collides with the ref. Referee's down. Zayn checks on the ref. Allows for Sami Zayn to get distracted momentarily. Trying to be the nice guy. Trying to be the humanitarian that he is to help the ref up. Neville nails him with a super kick. Hits the reverse Rana while the referee wakes up. 1-2, Sami Zayn kicks out at 3. So Zayn forearms Neville. And Neville forearms him back. And then Neville forearms him. And he goes for the round kick. Zayn ducks it. Rolling German suplex into the Tiger suplex 85. Charges in for the haluva kick. But once more, the NXT champion stops it dead in its tracks by getting out of the ring. Zayn's like, screw this. Gets out of the ring. Charges in. Torpedo DDT right through the ring post. And nails him on the floor. It's the leap through DDT, tornado DDT on the floor is basically what a torpedo DDT is. Tosses him in, charges in, goes for the haluva kick. He connects, but the head of Neville connects with the head of the referee. So right away, the fans start chanting that the ref sucks, and this ref is awful, and they want another referee, but obviously that's probably not going to happen. So Neville grabs the NXT Championship, and Neville gets caught with the Yakuza kick. Fans are chanting no. Zayn's got a chance to dim the running lights of the NXT Champion and win it, like, right now. He has a chance to win the championship with a belt shot. And fans are like, no, 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 and Sami Zayn is having a fight with his conscience at one side. You have the angel on one side and the devil on the other side. It's like, yeah, hit him in the head, win the championship. And the angel's like, no, you're the nice guy. Be Ricky Steamboat of the Indies. And then the next thing you know, he decides against it. And he's like, you know what? Forget this. He throws it down. He says F that. And he doesn't say F, obviously. He completes the word. He curses a buttload in this match, allowing for Neville to roll him up from behind. 1-2, Sami Zayn kicks out. Neville goes to capitalize. Zayn catches him, exploder suplex in the corner. Fans are on their feet at this point. They know what's going to happen next. So Zayn gets in the corner, charges in, nails the haluva kick. 1, 2, 3, and the entire roof just explodes off Full Sail University live. My God, I've never heard a louder reaction in my entire life. Sami Zayn, 1 year in the making, finally wins the big one and walks out with the NXT Championship to end 2014 in NXT. He says, "I'm the effing man." Obviously, he's being bleeped left and right because obviously this was live at one point. Fans are chanting, "Thank you, Neville." I know because I was part of it. And the fans are just ecstatic at this point. The locker room empties, including Pat Patterson, who is a very big proponent of Sami Zayn even getting to the company in the first place. He's a big fan of Sami Zayn. So obviously, like, Charlotte was out there, Bayley was out there, the Lucha Dragons were out there, Enzo, Big Cass, the Big Thing. Tyler Breeze was even out there, which is weird because he was the only heel I really could see. Hideo Itami was out there. Strange thing, Kevin Owens was also out there. And the first thing that happens, Kevin Owens hugs Sami Zayn to a huge reaction from the crowd. I'm thinking, something's up. I know something's up because I've been calling it for months. So they pick up Sami Zayn on their shoulders and they parade him out in the ring. He's lifting the championship in the air. Some fans are chanting "Match of the Year," which I don't think it got on the actual broadcast, but I just rewatched it a few minutes ago. And Sami Zayn's like, "Yeah." Sami Zayn being humble in this still in the point. So then the confetti explodes. And there's black and gold confetti, and it's everywhere. And I mean everywhere. I'll explain what I mean in a minute. So finally, they part. Neville stands up. Zayn extends his hand. Out of respect. Neville kicks his hand away, pulls him in, hugs him, and unfortunately the people that were there live, including myself, barely got to see this happen because obviously you had the entire roster that were standing with their backs to us on the hard cam side. So the hard cam obviously could see what was going on, but the people that were in the bleachers, in the section, the GA section that I was in, really couldn't see very well. But I understand this obviously had to be played for television, and it makes perfect sense it happened. So, after the hug, everyone bombs out, including Kevin Owens. Sami celebrates, parades around the turnbuckles, finally celebrates one more time, gets out of the ring, sits on the ring apron. Kevin Owens comes back out. I'm thinking, it's about to happen. So Owens hugs Zayn. It's just the culmination of Sami Zayn's year-long rise to winning the NXT Championship. All the trials and tribulations, it's finally over, and he hugs his best friend in the center of the end of the show, at the bottom of the ramp. We get the logo. We think it's over. So the last image we see, we think we're going to see, is Kevin Owens raise the arm of Sami Zayn. And I'm thinking, it's about to go down. And it is. So he raises the arm, he grabs Sami Zayn by the neck, tosses him hard to the ramp, picks him up, and power bombs him on the ring apron. Fans are going crazy at this point. They don't know what to think. Some fans are chanting for Kevin Owens. Some fans are chanting for Sami Zayn. Some fans are just completely bewildered what just happened. And some fans, like me, are probably like, wow, I was actually right. It's awesome. It's nice being right sometimes. Steen, bulldozes past William Regal, who obviously is asking for help for Zayn, and the last thing we see on television is Sami Zayn being checked over, and Sami, you okay? You okay? And it's kind of his eyes are fluttering, he's, really out of it. Now, the live crowd, after this was over, Sami actually got stretchered out, so he did a stretcher job on the night that he won the championship. And they put the championship on his chest, which I'm sure is wonderful. Regardless of what it is. Say Sami Zayn is laying on a stretcher, he's immobilized, and they put this 15-pound championship on his chest. Thanks guys, you guys are awesome. And the crowd were starting to, they used the Olay chant with a funeral dirge. I thought that was kind of unique. Something I haven't had happen before. So this happens, and Sami Zayn gets rolled out, and we're waiting for the thumbs up, obviously. The fans are waiting for the thumbs up, and he gives the thumbs up, and he gets rolled away. So that's the end of the show. Top to bottom, the best wrestling event I've ever attended live. Honestly, it really was. Blew everything out of the water at TLC, and on Raw, the only thing I really enjoyed at TLC from that recap, obviously you guys know, was Ziggler and Harper, and Cena and Rollins. That's pretty much about all that I really liked on the show. If there's something else that's not important enough to mention. So, yeah, incredible. And I was so happy to be able to be there live. So thank you once again to Full Sail University and their social media department for being the reason that I got this ticket to attend the show. So there's that. My general admission ticket. So yeah, incredible night of action. Incredible night of action. So, we'll talk about this in a minute, where I think we're going from here. Obviously, I would say at this point, without a doubt, Kevin Owens made an impact. He's actually going to be on NXT this week, and he's going to have an interview with Renee Young to explain why he did what he did to his best friend, Sami Zayn. I liked his intensity in his first match. I don't know what they're going to use for a finish for him. Maybe he's just going to be using power bombs of some sort, so that's fine. I got no issues with that. Not going to use the package pile driver, I'm sure, but it'd be nice if he broke it out for matches. It'd be really nice if we see the actual brain buster from Sami Zayn in his matches with Kevin Owens. I think that would be really sweet if that actually happens. Lucha Dragons and the Vaudevillains, they'll continue their feud, and I'm sure there'll be a rematch in their future. Actually, I know there will be. Baron Corbin and Bull Dempsey are still on a collision course. That's going to happen soon. Finn Balor and Hideo Itami and the Ascension, they're not done yet. No, there's still plenty of time left. And like I said, great reactions from all four. And it's going to be interesting to see what happens when the Ascension go to the main roster. And what happens when Itami and Balor end up either A, feuding against each other, which is going to be awesome, or B, just running the singles gamut themselves after their tag team run is over. Sasha Banks and Charlotte put on a wrestling clinic. Women's match, regular match, doesn't matter. This is the match that you need to see. A very enjoyable match. And Sami Zayn and Adrian Neville, 25-minute classic. Totally enjoyed this match. I really loved every second of it, and I really enjoyed calling that match. So yeah, that was really fun. So yeah, that was the end of that. It's not the end of my night. So after the show's over, I'll give you a sob story, and then I'll end with the NXT swag I got. So after the show is over, and I go to get a ride back to Cabana Bay, I call my driver. It's true, it was my driver for the night. Didn't answer. Tried again, didn't answer. Texted, didn't answer. Called him, finally got a hold of him. It's getting cold outside. I know it's Orlando, I understand. Well, it's Winter Park. I mean, it's getting cold outside. It's like 50-some degrees, which is probably not a big deal. It was kind of cold that night. It really was. It was wind chilly. Like, it was blowing wind chilly, which was crazy. So, I finally get a hold of the guy, and he's like, yeah, I gotta get up in the morning, so just call this number, and they'll take care of you. Okay. I haven't heard that before. So I called the number, and somehow, some way, Mears finally took care of me. And they gave me the price that was quoted to me originally, and I didn't have to pay any more. So yeah, I'm going to be the bigger man and not put this company under the bus, even though I probably should. But yeah, thank you, Mears, straight up, for bailing me out of this. And while I was waiting outside, I met some fans, some really nice fans. So if I actually got to chat with you while I was in attendance at Full Sail for TakeOver, whether it was before the show or after the show, thank you out there for chatting with me. That's very appreciated. I met a lot of you, so yeah, there's a lot of people that I chatted with. So yeah, if you're watching this channel, thank you out there, and you guys know exactly who you are. I got to see a lot of people leave the building, which is funny because I got to witness marking out in before my eyes. So I got to see Pat Patterson leave, and Jason Albert was like close to me. William Regal walked away close to me, and I saw Finn Balor and Kevin Owens leave together. I saw the Ascension leave. I saw Ric Flair leave, or try to leave. That didn't really work out too well. I saw Bill DeMott leave. Him and Albert were kind of having a back and forth. That was kind of funny. I didn't really get to meet anybody because I wasn't really trying to meet anybody. I was just kind of there. I was kind of worried about my ride home, to be totally honest. I wasn't really paying attention to anything. Adam Pearce, I saw him leave. See if there's anybody I'm not thinking about off the top of my head. No, did not see. Yeah. Obviously, didn't see Sami Zayn leave because obviously he got sent out on a stretcher, so he wasn't going to leave. A lot of people just charged Finn Balor and Kevin Owens' vehicle asking for autographs. Everybody that I saw was super nice. The only person that didn't look like he wanted to really sign anything was Ric Flair. I totally understand. Flair's been through the gamut. He's a legend. I understand why he wouldn't want to sign anything. He was probably very busy because he had a lot of stuff to do. But yeah, everybody I saw pretty much was signing for everyone, so that was cool. I probably could have gotten autographs or pictures, but I didn't because I just wasn't there to do that. I was there to enjoy the show, and I had a great time. It was funny because when Balor and Owens were leaving, they actually nodded at me when I was standing there waiting for my ride, so that was kind of fun. I was outside for like 2 hours in the cold, so yeah, thank you, unnamed company. I'll never use you again. But yeah, let's talk about what happened after the show was over. Real quick, I want to mention my swag. So we're going to talk about my swag. I'll bring that over here. Okay. So this right here is the official NXT Our Evolution t-shirt. I'll show it to you. And it's got everything on the match. Everything, all the main matches are on here. Obviously, you have Adrian Neville and Sami Zayn up top. You have Hideo Itami and Finn Balor on one side, the Ascension on the other. You have Sasha on one side, Charlotte on the other, the Vaudevillains on one side, and the Lucha Dragons on the other. And here's the full card. With Kevin Owens on the bottom, with it saying that he's going to face off against CJ Parker. That's how I knew that there was going to be a match. I finally got the NXT shirt that I've been trying to get for a while. This is just a basic NXT shirt. Says the future is now. So that was kind of cool. I got my Vaudevillain shirt, which is super awesome. Look at the coolness of the Vaudevillain shirt. I like it. Very old-timey. Probably can't read it very well, but that's okay. And it's got the NXT logo on the back. So after the show was over, it's funny because I was talking to the merch guys before the show started. I was like, yeah, it'd be really awesome if I get a Finn Balor shirt or a Kevin Owens shirt. That'd be so cool. Well, lo and behold, after the show was over, they actually put out more merchandise. And they put out the Kevin Owens shirt and the Finn Balor shirt. The Kevin Owens shirt looks like this. And I like it. And the Finn Balor shirt is freaking amazing. This thing was pretty much sold out. At least sold out of one. I don't remember what size it was, but it sold out of one. This is the Finn Balor shirt. And it's got the logo on the back. It's really cool. And I don't care. This was an awesome night. And I wanted to have a souvenir. This is a bag of the confetti from NXT. Yeah, I know. It's a mark thing to do, but it was cool. It was cool marking out for one night. So yeah, really enjoyed myself in every way possible. For those of you that were not in attendance, I'll mention a couple of things real quick. Number one, they offered some more new merchandise that night. They had some Bayley magical tracking bands or slap bracelets. Same thing. If you're a Horror Nights fan, you'll get what I'm talking about. They had a brand new SAWFT soft necklace they had going on. They had Sami Zayn wristbands, and they also had replica NXT championships. They actually debuted the women's championship replica. I saw a guy actually buy it, and he was really excited about it. It was really cool. It was cool that the guy actually got the title he wanted. And those were things that were before the show. After the show, they had the Kevin Owens and the Finn Balor shirts, and I don't think they debuted anything on Friday night, so I'll state right now that NXT is becoming quickly one of the highlights of my week when it comes to wrestling recapping. Raw becomes a little tedious from time to time, to say the least. SmackDown is almost unbearable most of the time. NXT is something I really like talking about. I can call the matches, I can talk about things that I actually care about, and I understand the reason why now. For those of you that are unaware, the writer of NXT is Ryan Ward. Who is Ryan Ward? Ryan Ward used to work for Sports Talk Cleveland. And Ryan Ward, along with his partner Kyle Ross, did a show on the STN network that was called Sunday Night Submission. Ryan Ward, a big proponent of independent wrestling. And look who he's working with now. Kevin Owens, Finn Balor, Hideo Itami, Sami Zayn, Adrian Neville. All superstars from the independents. All superstars that he was a fan of in the past, and now he gets to write for them. So if you want to know why NXT is so amazing, the writer for the project is actually someone that knows these guys and knows what they're capable of and knows if they can be something in the WWE if they just take the handcuffs off. So a big thank you to Ryan Ward for writing great NXT television every single week, and a big thank you for Triple H for basically making this work in every way possible. NXT Takeover, Our Evolution, an amazing event in every way possible, and I'm very happy to say that I got to see it live. So, I also have a little bit of the victory celebration of Sami Zayn. It's also on this channel until they pull it, which they probably will eventually. But it's a little bit there. It's not the greatest footage, but I wanted to have my own footage of Sami Zayn celebrating after winning the NXT Championship. So yeah. So that was NXT Takeover Our Evolution. Next week we'll go back to normal NXT and maybe SmackDown, depending on how I feel at the time. The SmackDown is actually airing on Tuesday night, so it's actually airing yesterday, and I'm not able to really watch it live, so I'll just go probably watch sometime in the weekend. And NXT I'll watch over the weekend as well, and get that video out to you guys on Monday. So that's coming up, and thank you guys and girls out there that I met at Full Sail, all the awesome people that I chatted with, all the people that are watching this channel because of it. I really thank you guys and girls out there. So, as always, if you like these videos, tell your friends about them, leave a comment, do subscribe, help spread the word about Pop. If you haven't yet, go to Facebook and click like on our Facebook fan page, it's Sir Owen Disney Pop. If you'd like to follow me on Twitter, it's at Sir Owen Disney, or if you'd like to send me your friend request via Facebook, it is Owen Disney. If you'd like to talk WWE with me, or you want to talk NXT with me, you want to ask me about my wrestling career, I did have a nice long career as a manager, a commentator, and ring announcer in the wrestling business in the independents, and I love to talk about it. So if you guys have any questions, send me your questions that way. If you have ideas for our regular segments here on Pop, Sip and Snack, Vlog of Randomness, or if you have ideas for verses, or if you'd like to become a popcaster yourself, you can send your videos to SirOwenDisney@gmail.com. So in the meantime, I want to thank you guys and girls out there for watching, and until tomorrow, boys and girls, that's all I got to say about that.